Since Assassin's Creed has been around for about a decade now, there are definitely a few things we can look back on and think, Jesus Christ, that was ridiculous. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at 5 of the ridiculous things in Assassin's Creed in a light-hearted way, as not a means to be negative. So think of this more as the 5 funny ridiculous things in AC, as opposed to the outright 5 ridiculous things in AC. However, I like the ambiguous title, so we're just going to stick with 5 ridiculous things in Assassin's Creed. So let's begin. So to start off with, we have got the stupid guard AI. Now this does play into your hand a little bit and does help with situations for sure. However, it does seem a little bit silly when the guards either keep coming at you even though you've killed dozens of them, or are looking for you and literally go right past you when you're either in a really thin crowd where you stand out, or you happen to be sat on a bench. Or maybe in combat where they simply attack you one at a time while you slaughter them all. Because let's face it, if they all charged you at once, you probably wouldn't stand a chance, but instead they just stand around, almost as if they're being fair to you, but instead it just seems as if they're being quite stupid. But I mean, these little things make the experience that less perfectionist, and that makes it fun, so thank God these guards are stupid. But it is quite funny to watch, isn't it? Moving on, we have wanted posters in places where people will never see them. So yes, on the surface it seems a bit ridiculous that you will find wanted posters with promised rewards found on the rooftops where only guards will see them. What's so weird about that is that the wanted poster has a reward on it. For a guard, catching somebody who's a criminal is literally just their job, so they would get their regular pay for it. However, here it is on the rooftop, nobody can see it who needs to see it, the people can't see it. What's it doing there? This can be seen in Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 3, and it's just a little bit silly because nobody can see this wanted poster, so how does ripping it down affect your notoriety at all? But considering the notoriety is how guards detect you, not people, it's assumed that these posters are actually for the guards. But how are the guards supposed to see it, besides from maybe that one guard who's stationed there? Who cares for the logic behind it? Well, hey, funny shit. Next up, we have the fact that despite blending, you stand out like a sore thumb in the crowd. This is because you are clad in robes with weapons all over you, and somehow standing among people who look nothing like you in any way whatsoever makes you blending with the crowd. When the crowd's a lot denser, it looks a lot less ridiculous. However, when you're standing with 3 or 4 people, it's kind of weird how the guards don't at least notice the fact that you're armed. But as a game mechanic, blending is actually really good. I just find the aesthetic of it to sometimes come off as a tad ridiculous. For example, here's Edward tailing somebody stood next to a group of people sat down, yet somehow the person he's tailing turns around and doesn't notice him because he's blending. It's actually kind of funny because it looks ridiculous. It makes the person you're tailing or the guards around you look completely stupid, and at the same time it seems really silly. But like I said, in larger crowds this blending issue isn't necessarily as present, and it is a lot easier to miss an assassin in a crowd. But in the smaller crowds it's actually kind of funny because you can clearly see the assassin with his weapons and everything. Next up, we have whatever this happens to be. Brilliant. And finally, we have that sometimes guards will randomly attack you even if your notoriety is completely incognito. In other words, you'll be walking down the street like a casual human being, maybe a couple weapons or whatever, and then out of nowhere the guards will randomly attack you, usually when you walk through a guard checkpoint or past a guard patrol. Now this mostly happens in Assassin's Creed 3, but I'm not sure if it happens elsewhere. But I find it to be both a little bit ridiculous and sometimes a bit annoying, if I do say so. If you're trying to get across the world, there's no way you can get across undetected The guards will then attack you, and then you'll be stuck in this trying to escape, which is really hard, or fighting, which lasts forever. Either way, it's a massive inconvenience, and it can be very funny when you're in a good mood, but if you're in a bad mood, you're going to get very annoyed at this. Like, sometimes you won't even be doing anything, you'll just walk past them, and then they'll just think, oh, I'm going to attack you. That makes you think, do they do this to all their citizens? Makes me wonder why people call them the guards. But there you have it, everybody. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please bear in mind, this isn't as a means to criticise. This was just me having a bit of fun, pointing out some of the funny sort of ridiculous things in Assassin's Creed, the things that I definitely had a laugh at. Some of them are probably a bit more tailored to my humour, as I probably do have a bit of a strange sense of humour, as you all found out. But be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share, comment what you think, and I'll see you all in the next one with another video at some point.